Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udur Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero, where we hold bold conversations with people around the world. And today I am going to be talking about content creation, and that is YouTube. The story of creating content, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, or wherever you are. Even on Subtract, there are so many of them these days, Medium and all of them. I have a YouTuber, a veteran in YouTubing. I think you have done this for a very long time, Mr. Daniel Mutuku.
Yes.
Karibu.
Asante sana.
To the program. I want to talk to you about the inner workings of YouTube and how it works. And I know you're a specialist in this.
Yes.
You've been there for a long time. How many years?
Counting about 6 years, but let me say 3 years, seriously.
3 years, seriously.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things that I really feared about YouTube before I started it was the fact that YouTube starts very slow.
Yeah.
Like really slow. So I was saying in the other video that I've loved Facebook for the simple reason that there is a lot of feedback that you get.
Yeah.
You put a video there, a small video there, and you get 1,000 views. You put the same video on YouTube and you get 20 views.
Yeah.
You know? And it's very demoralizing.
For sure.
At some point, I just decided, well, I have, like, the other day I hit 1 million views on Facebook for the first time. For a long time, I hit 1 million views. What happened was, at the bottom of the video, Facebook was telling me to boost that video.
Yeah.
So, if I had 1 million views on YouTube, you can imagine the kind of compensation that YouTube would have given to me.
Yeah.
But the same video is on Facebook, and Facebook is telling me to give the money.
So that it can get more views.
So that it can get more than 1 million. The question is, why would I be doing that?
I think the two platforms have different objectives. And I'll tell you this, as much as Facebook has a lot of views initially, they get to a point and no more views are coming in because it is a social media platform where people go to watch or engage with content that has just been posted. But on the flip side, YouTube, it's more of an evergreen platform. They have several algorithms that run. They search. If you have a good video, it might have that slow starting, but if it is a topic people are searching for, it will continue getting views 5 years, 3 years, even 10 years down the line. I have a video, I think 6 years old, and it's still getting views, even right now. But Facebook, the lifespan of a post or a video, even 24 hours, and it is dead. No one else will ever see it.
Yeah.
So the objectives are different on these two platforms. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you about your story of how you got into YouTube, because the way I got into YouTube was that I was just tired of creating content for all the social media channels, and I wasn't getting something out of it.
Yeah.
And at some point, I just decided that I think that I can earn money in YouTube.
Right.
And I am going to just let the socials bring me views onto my YouTube, but not really going to be making a lot of content, because honestly, they are not going to be monetizing Facebook for Africans anytime soon.
Yeah.
TikTok is not doing it. Instagram is not doing it. A lot of Twitter is doing it, which is good. So what is your story? First of all, who is Daniel Mutuku? What do you do? And then how did you get into YouTubing?
My name is Daniel Mutuku.
Yeah.
I am a leadership and career coach. I happen to run a company called Career Point Solutions. And so around 2015, 2016, I created a video that was talking about careers. And I felt for me to put it on my website, the only technology that would allow me to do that was just put it on YouTube and then embed the video on my website. So I think my first video was uploaded either 2015 or 2016. And the purpose was just to have it on my website and so to embed it. But as time goes, I realized that video is one of the best medium that you can use, number one, to have a client or customer who are already educated on what you do, and it is the fastest and quickest way to create credibility and trust. So someone watches you on YouTube 2-3 times, they feel as if they already know you. By the time you're meeting them maybe face to face, you're like, who is this guy? But he's smiling as if he has known you for a while. So that
happened to me in Kericho.
It has happened
yesterday. We were sitting at Java in Kericho, and then these two ladies just come and say, "Hi, Jagero, how are you doing? Something happened."
This light.
Meisha. Okay, but we are okay, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yes, and then they come and say hello to us, and we're like, wow, people know me all over the place. Yeah. So anyway, you are going on.
So imagine they know you from or a certain product or service. That is what you have been talking about. You sell glass. You have talked about the quality of glass and all that. If you are to sell to them glass on that particular day, they don't need to start asking, is this guy really for real? Is it true that this one will do what he's saying it will do? They already have the information about you. So that's why I'm saying it builds credibility and trust very quickly. So 2019, I said I need to take this thing seriously. Yeah. So I started posting videos, and I just committed that I will post a video every week. It started again growing very slowly. You post a video, 10 views, 15 views, and it is very discouraging. But if there's someone who is consistent, I consider myself among the top 1% of people who are consistent. So I stick to it. Then I know for you to be successful, there are certain things that need to take place. So I tried to look for a community of people who are doing YouTube locally. I didn't find one. And so I said, let me create one. So I created just a WhatsApp group. I invited 1, 2, 3 people who are doing YouTube so that we could come, share ideas, what is working, what is not working. And then COVID hit 2020. So I started, actually, I think the time I was so serious is November 2019. Within 4 months, COVID hit. Everybody is at home. And in the group, in the WhatsApp group of YouTube creators, somebody said, oh, there's this guy called Daryl Eves. He's doing a YouTube challenge. You can join. It's a 30-day YouTube challenge. You can join, and it might help you grow your channel. I was like, should I do it? I said, let me do it. My intention, even getting in, was never to be monetized, because when I was looking at what is required for you to be monetized, I was like, this is out of this world. 4,000 watch hours. Where am I going to get all this? And I think at that point I was either less than 100 watch hours. I had I think less than 200 subscribers. But I said, let me join this challenge. So it was a 30-day challenge. He was going live. He would explain some stuff, give you homework. You go do it. The next week, another live. He explained. You do the homework. And I did that. That was, I think, May 2020. Within 1 month, my videos started going up. My views started going up. My subscribers. And I think by the end of May, I already hit 1,000 subscribers. And I was like, wow, okay. Let's see if these watch hours will get there. But the good thing, these videos, the more views I get, the more business I get. Because I'm talking about careers, about CV writing, about how to apply for a job. They trust me. They come, we do business. And so I was already monetized in a special way, not the YouTube way, because my business was growing. And August 2020, I hit the 4,000 watch hours. And I'm like, okay, so this thing is, okay, it can work. So I got monetized, and I continued with that. I think 2020 was a very great year because most people were home, and so they were consuming a lot of content.
Yeah, so let me get you back a little bit. A lot of people do not understand the term getting monetized, what it takes. So there is the 4,000 watch hours, there is the 1,000 subscribers. But what are the steps? There is some things that Google, that you have to do. For example, the PIN, the address, verifying your identity. Can you speak more about how that works?
Yeah. I think on the website, they have 4 things for you to be monetized. Number 1 is to have 1,000 subscribers, at least 1,000 subscribers, have 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months. Then there is the two-step verification process. So if you're on Google or you have a Gmail account, there's a way you can have the two-factor authentication, connecting it with your mobile phone, something, and then following the guidelines. You should strictly follow the community guidelines. But now there's the other side, which is called, you need to have an AdSense account, which is now the Google account for you to be able to get the money. So I connected it to my AdSense account. You have to put in your address. They must prove that you are for real. It's not just a robot. And so you put in an address. They need to send you a certain card with a PIN number. And once you get it, you enter it. I think I was a bit anxious when I was trying to fill that in. I researched and I saw there are some people who never get that card because it's being sent from the US. And I just put up our postal address, my home postal address. And interesting enough, it came, I think, after a month or so. So I'd already started seeing some revenue that I have earned from YouTube, but I couldn't access it until I verified the AdSense account. And when I got it, I was able to access the money. However, I also want to say this. Being monetized sometimes is not as glorified. It's not as the way it is glorified. It is not that you get the email telling you have been monetized, you're very happy. It's not that the next day you find you have $100 or $200 in your account. Again, it depends with the views that you're getting, what niche you're in, and then the thing is, for them to pay you out, you need to reach the minimum of $100 US. It took me about 3 months to get that first $100 US. I think, until November, and then they pay the next month. So the first cash that I was actually to see, this is money from the YouTube. It came in 2020 December. Yeah. So I think that is also good for someone to know if that is the path they want to pursue, if it is solely for being monetized or being able to be paid from YouTube.
How do they say? I mean, I know, but for purposes of the audience understanding, one of the things that we have struggled with as Africans is how we get our money.
Yes.
Stripe doesn't work. Sometimes PayPal doesn't work. This doesn't work. Pioneer doesn't work. So how do you exactly get your Google money?
They have several options, but I was just starting off. I didn't know, should I tell them, send me a check? Should I connect it to my bank? So I just asked one of my friends in that community who had already been monetized, how do you do it? He told me, I just put in my bank details. Which bank are you in? I'm in Equity. And I'm like, I also have an Equity account. So I just put my Equity account details, and they send the money directly to my Equity account. The thing is, they will sum up the money, for example, last month, and they will pay it the coming month, around 20th, 21st. So every 20th, 21st, I get some money has been deposited in my account.
It's automatic. You don't need to query. You don't need to withdraw it.
No. It's automatic.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You don't need to withdraw. Because many people want you to withdraw. If you have money on PayPal and you want to bring it to your M-Pesa, you have to actually go there and withdraw it. But with Google, it just comes.
It just comes. Because and then I get a notification, some money has been deposited. Now I can go withdraw over the counter or with an ATM. I just operate now like a normal bank account. Yeah.
What is the first amount that you got, like in Kenya shillings? How much was it? Do you remember?
It was the $100.
Yeah, it was exactly $100.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
But it was about 100 or maybe 101 or 2. I was really waiting to see this money coming in. So I think with the conversion rate at that point, it came to around 12,000 or something. Yeah. Yeah.
How did you feel? I mean, can you remember that day properly, how you felt when that money, when you were going to the bank and things like that? Because I've seen a lot of videos where people are really celebrating their first cash. I saw a Nigerian lady taking it all to church, and I was like, wow, so much work. The pastor takes all of it.
I was excited, and it was just an opportunity for me to see what is possible. Yeah. It was a lot of work. Again, if I would divide, let's say the 3 months amount of work, being paid the $100, 12,000 or something, divided by 3 months, that's about 4,000. It is not worth the kind of effort I've put in.
Yeah.
A video every week. Actually, I was doing 2 because there was a video every Monday and I was going live every Thursday. Yeah, it's good. Here's money. It is not worth in terms of effort and time and everything that I've put in, but it's just to show me these are the possibilities. This is what can happen to you.
What I am very thankful with Facebook, I saw MKHD talk passionately about it.
Yeah.
And they say that there is no company that into content creation that respects a content creator like YouTube.
That's true.
They know the amount of effort that you've put, and they're telling you that we are getting money from advertisers, and we honestly want to give you back some of this money. And he was saying that I find this to be very fair and very understanding. Now, I understand the fact that well, I have 2 cameras for which I bought for, one is about $2,000, the other one is about $2,000, that is $4,000. I have several lights, I've got these Rode mics, I've got the Pro, and the people that I work with that I give money week in, week out.
Yes.
And even right now, if I look at my account, you are saying that you are monetized and then you got your $500 in 3 months. I got my first $100 in 3 weeks. You know?
Yeah.
And right now, if you look at my analytics, you'll see about $129. That means I've not gotten the pin yet.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where it is because they said they sent it. So I don't know where I'm going to check actually to see that pin. So should I just go to the post office and check it? But
yeah, it depends what you put in. I think I did put my postal address.
Yeah.
And actually it came through the post office. I used one in Naivasha because that is where I'm born and brought up. So my dad actually called me and told me, yes, I have received a card here with your name. I was so excited. I told him, because it's open, actually it's not in an envelope. I told him, does it have some numbers there? Yes, read for me the numbers. I put in the numbers and account verified.
Yeah.
I came to check the card later on because the most important thing is that number.
Is that card? Yes, yes.
And
So
if you are not the owner of that account, that number doesn't make any sense for you. Yeah. So it depends what address you put in.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that I think that is the idea that there is a lot of money that you'll have to. There is a lot of money and effort that you'll have to put in when you're still starting your Facebook, your YouTube account.
Yes.
And as you've rightly said, that it is not equivalent to the effort that you have done. But one of the things I keep saying that, well, I have $130 in my account right now that I will honestly, I withdraw maybe in one or 2 months' time. But how much is the money that is on my Facebook account? I have negative $269. The money that I'm yet to pay for doing promotions on Facebook. So I have used, I think, about $3,000 on promotions on Facebook when I'm having events, which I've been having for the last 10 years. And I promote them, you know, but nothing comes back to me. And today, what is so even distressing about my Facebook account, for which, by the way, I've got a lot of followers right now.
Yeah.
After my stuff went viral on social media account. Right now, I have got 93,000 followers on my page, DWJ. And every now I open it, all I see is boost, all the way down. And it is so really, really annoying. And it is not, for me, I feel like Facebook is not very sensitive to me. Because at some point, they should look at the views and say, we don't need to put a label of boost on this video.
I have a book I've written called Facebook for Profit. How you can easily use Facebook for profit.
Yes.
And I think that is what I need to give to you.
Yes.
How you make money off Facebook is not on the platform itself. You need to take people off the platform and have an online business set up such that you can monetize your the platform. There's a process to it, but I'll tell you this. Having a website, your own website, or having, in technical terms, they talk about lead magnets and sales funnels and all that. That is where you make the money. Facebook is like a very great party whereby people go to have fun. But once you are in this party, you don't just go telling people, hey, I am selling this, will you buy? Oh, get this. People will run away from you. Have fun, enjoy them, and then tell them, by the way, if you're interested in this, come to my home. Yeah? I have another party that is specifically for this. You take them to your website.
I understand that.
So
I understand
when
that.
you are spending too much time and effort on the platform itself, no, you're just doing the agenda of Mark Zuckerberg.
Actually, I understand that, and I'm going to buy your book to see how I can further monetize Facebook.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, even on YouTube, we can still do what you're saying.
Yes, you can still do that. So the thing is,
still, they give you money for the exact viewership. And that is where I fault Facebook. Mm-hmm. That yes, you can develop you can bring them out and give and have business in other ways. But YouTube can also do that. There are a lot of people are asking themselves, and I heard you talk about it during the WordCamp.
Yes.
YouTube and production. Mm-hmm. A lot of people really don't understand it. Mm-hmm. You have to have this big camera, Fujifilm, you have to have these 4 lights, you have to have Rode mic. This one mic is $299. That is like $30,000, $40,000. Mm-hmm. And so probably what I wanted you to talk about is, how do I start? Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think for you to start your YouTube channel, there are 2 things that you need to consider. Number 1, what kind of content am I putting out there? Is it just for, I'm passionate about this topic, I don't mind earning or having a business around it? Or am I creating content strategically to help me earn? That is the starting point, yeah? And I usually say, if you're doing this kind of lifestyle videos, they do get a lot of views, but these views don't go very far. Like, oh, hi guys, I'm here, you can see, oh, blah, blah. I go to Mombasa, I go to Malindi, I go to, oh guys, you see, those are the kind of content that people say, I want to do this. But I can tell you, at some point you'll find as if you are an employee of YouTube, because if you don't post it today, the viewership goes down and it tanks. So I think those are the 2 things you need to ask yourself. What kind of content do I want to do? I like advising people to start creating content that is useful, that people are looking for. What kind of content are people looking? You might be an expert from your experience, from your qualification, from maybe the kind of experiences, even life experiences you have gone through, and then become like a resource channel. People are actually searching, how do I go through, I don't know, maybe a divorce. Maybe I had a car accident and now I'm going through physiotherapy to get back to walking. Those kind of things. And where you start, you don't need all these fancy equipment. Start where you are. Because if you wait until you're ready, you'll never be ready. Yes, at some point you will need the lights. You will need all these different camera angles and all that. But start where you are. As long as you have a smartphone, this is the best place to start. You can start recording. Actually, there's, with the kind of technology that are on the phones, they can produce videos that are high quality than a camera, probably the one that I bought back in 2019. So start where you are at, then put out content out there. It will not be perfect. It is good that your first video will get 3-4 views, because not everybody will see it, but it will have started you in that process. Put as much as you can. In the YouTube circles, they talk about you need to put at least your first 100 videos. That is quite a lot of videos. And then from there, then do what the experts do. Dive into the analytics. And that is what Darrell Eves actually helped me with. The good thing, I had a head start in 2016. And when I dived into the analytics, I was able to see some patterns that made me create videos that actually people are looking for, and they're getting a lot of value on my channel, and that is what made it take off. But you will never have these insights You'll never know what is really working before you start. So I would say start where you are at. There are two ways: using a phone. If it is a tutorial kind of channel you want to create, just record the screen of your computer. It might be a presentation, it might be a demonstration, and start there. Then after 50 videos, I would say 50 videos, if you do one video per week, that is 1 year down the line, you will have some direction of what is really working and what is not working. And you will never know unless you start.
There's a question of should I have my face on the camera?
You don't necessarily need to. It's not about your face. It's about the value that you're giving people. I think when we had that WordCamp, I gave an example. If someone is really stuck and they want to say, how do I install a WordPress plugin or a WordPress installation? Or how do you're busy setting up your new television you have bought, and I don't know which brand it is, you want to see, how do I connect it to Netflix? When you go and search on YouTube, it doesn't matter if the guy is showing their face or not. As long as they show you click here, tap here, do this, and voila, it works. You wake up in the middle of the night, you have that toothache, and you just go and Google home remedies to cool down your the pain. And then it tells you mix salt and I don't know what and what. You do that and you do that. At least I can wait until morning to go get the tooth extracted or whatever it is. It doesn't matter if you saw their face or not. Is that information that you're putting there of value? Remember, YouTube has several algorithms, and one of it is the search. It is a search engine. It is the second biggest search engine after Google. And remember, it is being owned again by Google. So if you can try to really work that search algorithm, how to, it doesn't matter even if the video is 5 years old or 10 years old. That is what I was saying. As long as it works, people give the signal that, oh, I watched this, I now know how to sort my pain, or I know how to install this or do this. That video will continue getting you the views. So the face is not important. It is, unless it is the kind of content you're doing, the face is important. Or you're trying to create a lifestyle channel or people to follow you. So you need to think about, oh, how do I look and all that.
There are issues of, you've talked about video.
Yes.
What would you advise them as far as sound is concerned? Because I've realized that sound is also a very serious pinpoint in as far as video production is concerned.
One of the things YouTube looks in terms of signal of if this video is good or not is the retention rate. When you look at the analytics, and you'll find that maybe people are dropping. Most likely people will drop even if your video is of much value, but the sound is just off. There's a lot of noise. Someone has really to take time to concentrate to hear what you're saying.
They have to look for their headphones.
Yes, so that they can
earphones.
So if the sound is not great, the video will not perform well. And so it again beats the logic of the value that you're giving it. People are not getting the value. The video might be valuable, but such aspect as sound can really interfere, or the users will not have the best experience. And that is the signal that. So if you can be able to do a good video, sound, make sure it is a quiet place or a studio like this. You can have equipment. I think the first thing after buying a microphone, or if you have a phone, there are some mics that you can actually connect to the phone. Then start there.
And the file is stored on the phone.
Yes. So sound, it's something that you need to think about as you grow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That what's the problem that presents again is how do I synchronize that sound with the video that I have made?
If you have a good video editing software, I think there's a way they are able to integrate. But if you're doing it directly from the phone and you have the mic, it will record the video and the sound together. Yeah.
Okay. Some of the things that let's talk about copyright issues.
Yes.
You know, what is your experience with them? Because the reason why I asked that is that Epidemic Sound is to give people music to use as a bed, and then and many of them, they decided to change tact So like right now, Epidemic Sound says that you can only use our sound when your subscription is active. So that means that you can have Epidemic Sound this month, pay them $20 for that month, download 100 sounds. And then if you stop the subscription, you have only used 4, you cannot use the 96. And they will issue a copyright strike if you use the 96 that you downloaded during your active subscription. I don't know what you think about that and where people can be able to get sound to accompany their videos.
I've not had so many issues with copyright. I think the first one I got was a time I was doing a live presentation, and I think part of the presentation, there was, I think, a sound from a movie just from nowhere, and then they gave me that copyright strike, and they told me I can either mute that part or I can remove the video and re-edit and get rid of that part. So I decided to just mute it, and it was okay. I try as much as possible not to get this copyright strike. And one of the ways I've learned is to use music that YouTube themselves give you. If you go to YouTube Studio, there's a place where they have audios, and the license is for you to use those videos on YouTube, not on other platforms. But the copyright, I have heard from other podcasts that you can really even challenge some of these copyright strike if you know you are on the right. You did everything the right way. But ignorance is no defense. You can't say, I didn't know. Like that one of this sound from a movie. Yeah, I didn't know, but it was my fault. So I'd rather just, I can even delete the video.
On the speakers?
No, it was, let me say, I was doing a live show. It was like quiz. People were answering questions and all that. So I was using, I think, Kahoot. And one of the, what do you call it? I think it was like a GIF, something that's moving around. It was part of a movie. So they actually identified it. They have that kind of level of technology. And then I say, just mute it or just get rid of that small section.
So you just press click mute.
Yes, on they will give you those options in the studio. So I just said you mute or just blur that part. If you try search, I think the presentation of Steve Jobs when he, I think, unveiled, is it the iPod or the iPad? Most of the videos don't have the sound because that sound has been copyrighted. So the videos are still there on the different channels, but you can't hear what he's saying. Yeah, I think that there's that option they allow you on the studio for that specific video, and they will give you different options. Do you want to delete it? Do you want to do this? Depending with the kind of copyright strike you have.
And if you want to do the same to your own video, what do you do? Because what I have realized right now is that a lot of people are piggybacking on my content and re-putting it. Like Kibe put a whole 3 minutes of my video on his channel.
When you're uploading your video, there's a part where you decide which kind of license you want to allow that specific video to have. By default, I think what they have is, I can't remember the wording, but somebody can still reuse it. But there's also that idea of fair use. How do you describe fair use? If I heard from another podcast where they were talking about when you're really thinking about fair use, is that when someone watches what has been done there, will it make them not want to watch the original one? So you find there are some people who actually do reviews of movies or TV shows. They will pick specific places, then they have a commentary on it, whereby if you compare a movie which is a whole 1.5 hours, you only picked 1 minute, and then you did a commentary for about 10 minutes on the same bit, it might give you the urge, oh, this is what they're talking about. Can I go watch the whole thing? But if it's just bringing the whole movie and putting out there, again,
but they have copyrighted that part. So how does then fair usage comes in? They have copyright. The movie owners have copyrighted that part, and you're taking that 1 minute and putting it on your commentary.
There are several ways to look at it. I think there's a lot of legal jargon about it, about the wording, what is fair use, how do you quantify the fair use. I try to avoid that route because I don't have the time and the effort and even the money to hire a lawyer to start describing or telling me this is this. I try as much as possible to create my own content. You know, you can regurgitate what someone else said but without showing their videos, but as long as it's your own original content, that is okay. In that case where someone else picks your video and then creates a content out of it, just check which kind of license probably was there on that video, which loophole he might have taken advantage of. Because I'm sure if someone wants to go that route and they are a big content creator, they might have realized this is the loophole I can use, maybe to not go that route. But at the other side, I would say, taking battles with especially other creators, it might take a lot of time and effort, which will really drain you, even if you go to a court of law and such. How can you think about collaborating and even having them giving you a shout out such that you have some crossover audience who are watching this creator, then they end up coming to your channel, and then probably now from there, some creators from you go to the other side, and it's a win-win.
What I find very disturbing about some of the people that pick other people's content is the disregard for fair usage.
Yeah.
You know, for example, there is a guy who actually made a whole series on TikTok using my videos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I called him, and the guy was on his knees, like, you know, you please don't report me, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, so I've just been thinking about what he did. And because I think my videos that he has on TikTok has got cumulative, probably 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you look at what he has done, is just the gentleman that was there.
Yeah.
He picks the video, and then put the guy on top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, speaking with his voice and with his image, and then down here he has some video, some stock footage of what probably the guy is talking about. So you will have down here men, a man and a woman in bed, cozy in bed, and then Matheka is talking up there. And if you look at it, then it is not just 2 videos, 3 videos, it's a lot of videos that he has done. And for me, I feel like that is not fair usage.
That is not fair usage. I think in that case, I would either ask them to stop, delete what is already there, because it is directly affecting, as in people would rather watch his content than your content, because, and yours was the original content. So, quote unquote, they are getting some views or viewership out of your own content. I would approach it that way. I'll tell them to stop, desist, and then I will also look at what am I going to gain out of this. Sometimes you have to put precedents. You might be the person to put in the time and money and effort that will show other, I call them con artists. That is someone who is just earning or getting popular or out of somebody else's sweat. He hasn't put any. I think the only.
What if you look at his channel?
Yes.
He doesn't create original content. I am not the only one he's stealing from. He's basically stealing from a lot of people. And, you know, he even goes ahead and corrupts the sound so that it is no longer Matheka, but you can feel that this is not my audio. He has changed the frame rate. He has changed something. So even TikTok or YouTube cannot actually identify, because I think that this major platform, they ID the sound.
Yeah.
So that you don't go posting it everywhere. So I think he even understands that he needs to corrupt the sound. And he goes ahead and corrupt the sound. So when you listen to his against yours, as somebody who is in production, you already understand that this guy knows what he is doing.
Yeah. I think it is up to you. You can decide what you need to do. But I'll tell you this. I believe that there are people who are very genuine in what they do. And those who come into con or steal from others, they don't last long because they are fully dependent on your content. And if you find a way around it, then they will just starve, or they will have to look for the next person to maybe quote unquote steal content from. So I would advise, see how you can engage for them to stop, and then from there you do your thing. There's some people who, I've seen people just doing the same videos that I've done. It's only that they are redoing it. And I say, it's okay, good for them. Let me stick at in my own production, try to see how much I can push, and have people who believe it big. Later on, people actually will come and say, actually, this is a copycat. This is the original. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you would consider do's and don'ts in terms of YouTube content creation?
This is a hard one. I had to learn it the hard way. Don't create content for yourself. Create content for your audience. When I started, I used to think of, what do I want to create? What do I do? And I will create content that I'm the one who's consuming. But when I started diving deep into the analytics, I started seeing what the audience want. And I started creating content for them. And that really helped it take off. Now, some point, I asked myself, am I just now a slave to the analytics? Am I a slave to this machine that tells me what to do? And probably that is not what I want to do. But then I asked myself, am I serving myself, or do I want to serve my audience? So that would be the first thing. Stop doing content for yourself. Do content for your audience. Probably the other thing would be, think about how will people get to see your content and actually engage with it. I talked about it previously. People talk about clickbait, and especially when it comes to the thumbnails and the title. If you watch my channel, you will see a lot of my thumbnails. It's my face, hair, opening mouth, pointing, all those credits things. And I realized that actually helps. The first step for people to watch your videos is getting that click. And what will drive that click? It is the thumbnail and the title. I try not to have the clickbait in terms of I'm saying this and then the video is totally about something else. That is not correct. But why not entice the people to come and click, and when they click, they actually get the value that you had promised from the thumbnail and the title. So for YouTube, stop wasting the online real estate by having the same kind of words on your thumbnail as the title. Those are two different things. Have something enticing on the thumbnail so that someone can actually read the title, and then deliver on the title. Don't just
deliver on the title.
yes, deliver what is actually what you have said you're going to give them. Because then that is, I think Pat Flynn talks about, that is click food, not clickbait. Because clickbait is when you tell them, what did, then they click, it is something totally different. You told them about the cow, and on the video you're talking about ducks.
I have had people telling me to remove their content from YouTube after it has gone viral. It has happened in the last 2 weeks. How do you deal with this? Do you know how? For example, right now I'm interviewing you.
Yes.
Everybody can see that there is a full consent that this guy is here to be interviewed.
Yes.
And you say something, whether stupid or an afterthought, and then you realize that this video is going to mess me up. But then looking at the other side, that this guy has taken his time to mount cameras, to mount the light, and go all the way to record this entire video. I don't know if you've ever encountered that. I know you do your videos by yourself, but what would be your reaction to people who want their videos removed after they have been uploaded on YouTube?
You might not know this when you start doing your videos, but then, as we said, some of these things now come later on when you're already starting. If someone does that, try to see why is it that they want it removed. Try to create a win-win situation, but still, if you are taking the legal route, this guy would not have come to your studio if there wasn't consent from their side. But try to see what is the reason as to why. But then, having encountered such a case, create some kind of agreement or contract. Such anyone who comes in, they sign something so that later on, you have some evidence to say you gave full consent in writing. You know, here it is assumed that I've given consent.
Yes,
the assumption is, yeah, because I came, I left whatever I was doing, I came here, we talked, and you told me from the word go, it's going to be posted. It's not that you are interviewing me just to have it on your phone to be watching by yourself, right?
Yes.
But when this kind of things happen, some contract, some simple writing where someone can just, so that it can help you in future, something that happens, you know where to.
But also, morally speaking,
yes,
I feel like whatever agreement you had in place with somebody, and they are coming to you and telling you that I have changed my mind, and these are the reasons why I have changed my mind, and I want it to be out of the internet. Like I'm telling you, the video that I did that I'm telling you, Kibe actually took and made a whole video out of with lots and lots of views. The lady saw that on Kibe because, you know, Kibe is after women, and when women say something that he feels is not right and is unfair to men, he will always go after that person with a lot of vengeance. You know, so such kind of things.
Yeah.
So this person is coming and telling you that, you know what, so probably, but I don't like the way the video is now being used elsewhere. The other problematic thing that I see with that is that they're asking me to remove that content from my YouTube channel, but it is already somewhere else. It's flying around. It is in WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I am the one they are punishing while the video is everywhere. You know.
It might be difficult, but trying to get a win-win, that would be my approach. I believe in building bridges. I believe in being empathetic to people, but sometimes it is out of your control. It's no longer your video, probably the one that you uploaded that is bringing the issues. It is what has been replicated and now is going around that.
Yeah.
And even maybe trying to make them understand. I can remove it, yes, but it's already out there. As in, there's very little I can do beyond what somebody has done with it, downloaded, posted it somewhere, and all that kind of thing. And also, I'm not also putting this person at fault. I think as you have these discussions is to know, as I say, something once it is already on the internet, it's very back to pull it back.
Yeah, even tweets. When you tweet, people record tweets. And
screenshot and all that. Even if you try to delete later on, there is very little you can do. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Mr. Mutuku. It's always nice talking to you, and I think this is not the last video that we are going to be talking about.
Right.
There's so much around content creation, and I feel like this is not going to be the last one, because you obviously need to be somewhere else. We can stop it at that, and then pick it another day, right? So thank you very much. To my audience, thank you very much for listening to this. At Dialogues with Jagero, I just want to have these bold conversations and share things. If you're a YouTuber, I'm hoping that you have learned something. If you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I hope that you've learned something. What I would ask is that you may leave a comment, ask questions. I can always reach out to this guy to answer those questions that you're having about YouTube. He can always, take some time and look at the comments and, answer those questions. Don't forget to subscribe, hit on that notification bell so that whenever video is out, you can be able to take advantage of it and learn from it. Until another video, thank you and bye for now.